Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be cooking up a chicken over the campfire. Now I haven't got any cooking utensils with me, so I'm going to do it bushcraft style. I'm not entirely sure whether I'm going to cook it whole on a spit or if I'm going to spatchcock it and use some kind of grill. That's how prepared I am for this video. But I'm going to be using predominantly hazel wood for this project and a bushcraft knife. So yeah, hazel, there's a lot of it in this woodland. You've got a hazel coppice behind me here, which I coppiced about 25 months ago. And as you can see, it's starting to regrow very well. And over here you can see a fence which we've made out of hazel, just to keep the deer away from the fruit trees. It's a very, very useful wood, but it's not really renowned for fire starting. So I'm going to try and start the fire using nothing but hazel as well. And obviously I'll make the spit or the grill out of green hazel wood. So yeah, so that's the plans for today. It's pretty early on. This is coffee number 2 of the day. So I'm going to drink this. I've got a few jobs to do and I'll crack on with the firewood prep. So we've got a really big chunk of hazel wood here. Now this was from a really overgrown coppice up the top end of the woods. But I'm going to try and split this. I haven't got my splitting maul with me, so I'll be attempting to use the little Helgover Black Forest pack axe. Should do the job with enough perseverance. Well guys, it's time to get the fire lit. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I've got some hazel here which I've split. I'm going to get myself a good handful of shavings, and I'm going to put them into the fire pit. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scrape off some of the dry wood from inside this bit of hazel with the spine of the knife. So I'm going to create a little pile of shavings. Hopefully they should be dry. And then I'm going to try and ignite those using the knife and the ferro rod. Then I'm going to create a small feather stick. I'm not very good at feather sticks. I'm going to create a small one which I'm going to ignite, and then I'm going to carry that over to the fire and then hopefully light the fire. So it's not really a traditional way to light a fire, but you've just got to try and make do, haven't you? I mean, there's lots of pine in this woodland which is great for starting fires, but in deciduous woodland you might not come across any pine, so you've got to work with what you've got. Obviously you can light fires with birch pretty easy enough if you harvest some of the bark. Hazel bark isn't that great, in fact it's not ideal at all, but we do have dry wood on the inside here, so we'll just we'll see how we get on. So one advantage of using a bushcraft knife over an axe to do kindling is that you can really batten down nice thin bits of wood, which is useful if you're in a damp environment and the wood you're using isn't ideal. You can get nice thin bits of kindling to get on the fire in that crucial period where you're starting to build the heat up. So we've just got a decent little pile of shavings here. Now you want to try and get as many as you can really. I should probably have double this amount. But I'll see how it goes. I've got a little feather stick here which isn't great, But as long as I can get a spark on that, ignite this, then I can carry it over to the fire pit and get the fire started. So I do have quite a large ferro rod here. It's quite a good one, so we'll see how we get on. I'll just move the feather stick there so I can try and light it quickly. Thing is, this is all we want. We just want to get this alight, and then we can just take it over to the fire pit. Perfect. So we've got a couple of skewers finished here, just using very thin bits of hazel. I've carved a point on the end so we can pierce the meat, and we'll be able to get the spatchcock chicken and keep it in place like that. And then I'll have another piece of hazel running up with a split in it, and these two skewers will be inside the split, so hopefully that'll allow me to just turn the chicken over the fire. But we'll see how we get on. But it's a joy using the Mason Bushcraft knife here. It's a fantastic tool. I would always recommend getting a knife with a sharpened 90-degree spine on it. Really useful. I mean, it just takes the bark off anything dead easy, and it just allows you to kind of smooth out any of the notches as well without having to use the other side of the blade. So yeah, I think I'll head off now, and I'll find a larger stick, and we'll begin to split it and see how things look. So I've just got a longer piece of hazel here, and I've just cleared a section in the middle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this piece of wood down there, and then as I skewer the chicken, these two skewers are going to go inside that split, and hopefully that should keep the chicken spread out and I can get it over the fire. So what I've done on these skewers is I've just kind of flattened about an inch on the middle of each one at the same point, so they're going to cross over like that, and they shouldn't really roll around once they're inside the larger bit of hazel. So I think this is going to be the tricky bit. I've spatchcocked the chicken. That's all good. Now I've just wedged a stick in there to keep that gap open. And we'll take one of the skewers and we just go through the leg. And then we can get it into that gap. And then out through this side. So I'm just putting a bit of seasoning on. I've just drizzled a little bit of olive oil, and then we've just got some salt and pepper. It's all it needs really. So there we go. Should be able to turn that around and get everything cooked easy enough. So what I've done here is I just sharpened the end of this stick so I could dig it in the ground, and we'll just rest it on that Y stick, and I'll be able to control the coals here. I might lift it up a little bit actually. I don't want it to cook too quickly, and it is pretty hot, so if I put something underneath there I can lift it up a bit further. So let's get in there and make sure everything is cooked. Just got a little Opinel knife here. You just cut in. Oh, that looks perfect. All the meat's white. We'll just check the breast. Oh, fantastic. That is looking very good. Skin's nice and crispy as well. So the chicken worked out pretty well. The only downside was that it was a small male. I could have done with another one, or maybe I should have just bought a full-size chicken. But on the plus side, you don't have to do any washing up, and it was a good little system I had going there. It worked well. It's good to get back there and practice your proper bushcraft skills. Since we built the shed up here, I just tend to, I mean, we've got like firelighters and matches, and then, you know, we've got metal grills and Dutch ovens and everything. So we just tend to use those to cook with. But yeah, it's good fun, you know, going back to the proper bushcraft stuff. So yeah, I'm just going to finish this coffee, and then I've got a few more jobs to do, which is just mainly taking the firewood down in the wheelbarrow to the truck to take home. And then we'll be heading on out, and hopefully my next video will be a hiking video. We've got a few days off, and if the weather is decent enough, we intend to head up to Scotland, up to the Cairngorms again, and do some more trekking and wild camping. I did think about doing a canoe trip, but you just know it's going to be windy and probably wet, and not much fun to be out on the kind of the large exposed lochs that you get up in Scotland. But hopefully next year we'll be heading over to Sweden again. It looks like that's going to be happening, but this time we're going to take the canoe with us and do a couple of weeks canoeing up there, probably in the, you know, in and around the Stora Lee area. I don't think we'll have enough time to head further north, but we'll see. I'll get on and start planning that. Something to look forward to. But yeah, in the meantime, I'm just going to finish this brew and crack on with my jobs. So I'm all done now. I'm just going to head on out. It's been pretty nice up until now, but there's just heavy rain showers coming through, so I'm going to get out of here before another one comes along. So as ever, thanks for watching. I'll see you again in the next one.